Thank you for being here this evening on actually late afternoon for a very unique and a very special occasion. I want to thank each and every individual that is here today, big time, because it's not my preference to be standing in a suit or a dress shirt and dress pants on a July 1st afternoon when it's 90 degrees, but this is worth it, and I hope you'll see why when the evening is concluded. I definitely want to thank the folks that made this process possible. I want to thank definitely Steve Shoemaker, who is always busy and always diligent in so many things and relentless. I want to thank the street department in getting this set up for us this evening. And I definitely want to thank Mr. Bill Corbin, who assisted in the voting process for the flag. And I absolutely, positively want to thank our flag designer, Mr. Mitch Miller, who is with us this evening from Florida. So to give you a little bit of background on how this came about, sadly, in the spring of 2020, Mayor John Fields passed away from Union City, Ohio. And it was a sudden and very tragic passing. And I, to honor him, asked the flags to be lowered to half-mast. And then I found out I didn't have the authority to have the flags lowered to half-mast. That is a privilege held only by state governors and the President of the United States and one mayor. And that's the mayor of Washington, D.C. Those are the only folks that have the right to have an American flag lowered. Now, that's a shame, because I would really like to be able to honor folks in this community when they've served in a rather robust capacity, and if we lose them too soon. So I got to thinking, why can't we have our own flag? Major cities have their own flags. We're not a major city, but we're still a community. And so that begat the process, the search. And I sent an email to my Aunt Sue, who everybody else knows her as Sue Miller. I told her what was going on, what my idea was, and I even threw in the email. I said, I thought about reaching out to Mitch, because Mitch is a graphic design artist and an exceptional one, but I know he's so busy. And we were, mind you, getting into the height of the pandemic at this time too, so everything was a bit of a mess. And she said, I think that's a wonderful idea, and she goes, I think you really need to reach out to Mitch and see if he's at least willing to give it a try. So we did that, and sure enough, he was quick to oblige, and he provided us a number of flag designs that we then threw out to the community to vote. And so the community was charged with picking the flag that would represent this one community on both sides of the line. I'm going to pause for a second. I can't curse the trains because we wouldn't be here without them. So the community voted, and they voted on the winning design, and the winning design was then put to City Council for vote, for approval, because City Council, by ordinance, that they have to adopt it. The Union City, Indiana Council adopted it on 1/11/21, and then a few months later, on May 3rd, the Ohio Council adopted it, and so it became one flag, one city flag, shared by two cities, or what I like to think of as one community. So the flag design in itself, when you see it raised, these are the things to keep note of. The blue and white stripe in the middle is the state line. The combination of the red, white, and blue represent the United States. The blue star naturally indicates Union City. And then the graphic shapes of Ohio and Indiana you will see in the background obviously represents our city's unique tie to both states. So, let me tell you what this flag is not. This flag is not to be on an equal plane as the American flag. It's not to take away the glory that is bestowed upon that flag and all the men and women who have given their lives over the years serving our country. It's not on that equal plane. It's not to be worshiped or glorified. It's not to be worshiped or glorified because that's honor only due to God. And it's not a delusion of grandeur. We are working diligently in this community to make a difference. Make no mistake, we don't think, oh, we're done now, we have a flag, all is good. No, it's not that. But let me tell you what our flag is and can be. Our flag is a symbol of our unique position on this state line. Not too many places do you go and find a community, especially a small community, hugging a state line. I can never forget, that is the longest train in my life. I can never forget having a meeting with the Indiana Department of Transportation when I first took office, and we had about 8 or 9 people of a contingency from INDOT, and we were sitting in our executive boardroom, and they had just finished a meal at Pizza King. And they were remarking how 4 of the staff members from INDOT were standing just in front of Pizza King with the state line to their back and taking selfies of themselves because they thought it was so cool that they were standing in one state and another state was right behind them. I promise you, we take that for granted every day. They thought it was the coolest thing. We pass the state line without blinking 5, 6, 7 times a day. It's also a reminder, this flag, of what it can be, a reminder of what it is like to come together. To come together in tragedy, like when an 8-year-old suddenly loses his life on a baseball field, and 2 sides come together in an unbelievable outpouring of love. Or a reminder of our ability to come together in triumph, like state teams, 75 Hawks. 2016, I think it was girls, Union City. Triumphs that bring us together and find us rooting for one another. See, it's not about our race. It's not about our religion. It's not about our gender. It's not about our political ideology. And it's not even about where we were born or on which side of the line we were born on. It's about who we are as people. I think, maybe crazy in saying this, but I think we've had all wrong all these years. It's not necessarily just the state line that makes this place special. It's all of you. It's the people in this community that make Union City special. That's what's great. So let this flag be a reminder of that. Let it be a vision for what our town can be. You know, the downtown, how we're trying to restore it, and our housing, and our neighborhoods, how we're trying to restore them and build them up, and our parks, but most importantly, our people. Let this be a vision for what our people, what we want our kids and our grandkids to know about, and how we want them to carry the flag, so to speak, forward, and help this community be stronger, and help it be one community like never before. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Eric Rust of the Union City, Ohio Council and Mr. Bob Leahy of the Union City, Indiana Council. They are going to join Mr. Steve Shoemaker, our city manager and fire chief, and we will commence with the first official flag raising for Union City. Good. Thank you, gentlemen. First time in my life I didn't talk as long as I needed to. I actually had an alarm on my clock that said stop talking. It was to go off at 5:40. I should have said for 5:41. The idea was to have the flag officially raised at 5:43, just as a bit of play on numbers, as a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2 states, 1 flag, 1 community. So the nice thing is you're going to see this flag flying throughout the community moving forward, not just here, but we have some individuals here tonight that are here to receive their flag for either their place of business or their school or their community. First and foremost, I would like to recognize my counterpart, Mr. Dwayne Pooter, Union City, Ohio Mayor. If you wouldn't mind, Steve, we'll have a flag.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. For Randolph Eastern School Corporation, Superintendent, Mr. Aaron Black. For Mississinawa Valley School District, representing the school district, Ms. Cheyenne Tedrow. Representing Workhorse from our HR department, Miss Stacy Brookfield. Or Chesterfield, sorry. Stacy Chesterfield. And representing Frank Miller Lumber, CEO, Mr. Steve James. We need to recognize our EMS and fire too. So Mr. Eric Hyde, if you wouldn't mind stepping up. You will see these flags flying throughout the community. We will have them for sale as well. So if you'd like to fly them individually at your homes, we'll also have yard flags that you can set up. And so I can't stress this enough. I want this to wave proudly in this community. But it will wave as proudly as the manner in which we serve this community. So I have one more special flag to give out, and it's to my cousin. This is a very special moment for me. Mr. Mitch Miller, our flag designer. You're very welcome. I know he poured a lot into this, but again, the colors, the shapes, the design, you guys represent that. It is you. It is your DNA that will make this flag what it is, that will make it a symbol of respect, of community, of love and compassion, an example of how we come together. Because it is my wish that when people talk about Union City moving forward, or people hear about Union City, it's almost with an amazement or an awe that there's something different about this community. That people far and wide may not be able to put their finger on it, but there's something unique about Union City, and it's a special place. It's not just the lights in the park. It's not just the beautiful park itself. It's not the state line. It's not the 2 different police departments, fire, all this stuff that is unique in this community. It's not just that. It's the people. And so to that, I say once again, thank you so much for being here on this special evening. I hope you remember this always, because this is a unique time and a unique event. And so I hope you cherish this. I thank you for being here, and I wish you a wonderful evening and a very happy 4th of July.